please God, let them find her before dark.
Authorities say this little girl is in imminent danger of injury or even death.
She's very popular among the people. She's a sweetheart. She's just a tiny little thing, and we all love her.
An army of professionals searching some of East Tennessee's toughest terrain.
It's a very intense investigation. I know the public needs to know things, but it's ongoing, and we will release things as we can, when we can.
Tonight, a community is taking action, looking for any trace of little Summer Wells.
An Amber Alert is in effect as that search intensifies for 5-year-old Summer Wells. Hawkins County Sheriff says she may have walked away from her home near Rogersville last night. Well, here's a look at what makes this search so tricky. The view from the air. See how mountainous and wooded the terrain is? That is an obstacle for search crews, and so is limited cell service.
It's an emotional time right now for the Hawkins County community. This comes, like you've been saying, after hours of not being able to find this missing 5-year-old girl.
A line of seasoned professionals, search crews going through, covering it grid by grid.
You see the church there behind me, the local Baptist church, has balloons, flowers, ribbons. They're here basically using that as sort of a beacon of hope. They hope to cut those balloons free when Summer ultimately hopefully finds her way back home.
She could be spending a second night alone and barefoot in the East Tennessee wilderness.
She has been missing more than 28 hours now. Investigators saying they're desperate to find her.
They actually are intensifying the search. This is video right here of what they're calling a grid search. So it's about 5 acres that they have covered. This is a field just outside of her home.
More than 2 full days searching this area. They have covered 630 acres. No sign of Summer.
And for the aerial search, they've got those infrared cameras and all types of other technology. They will still have good aerial visibility.
Taking a look here at the home off Ben Hill Road. This is for some of you that have asked. Yes, they have searched the home. They have talked to the family.
Where is Summer Wells? Authorities are desperate to answer that question, but now her father says he knows the answer. He believes someone abducted his daughter.
She wanted to go downstairs and play with her toys, so when her mother come in, she says, "Where's Summer?"
And we are now hearing from Summer's mother for the very first time.
Me and my mother and her were planting flowers, and we went in after we got done washing our hands, and I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom.
Have the parents been ruled out? The TBI said this is still very much under investigation and all possibilities are on the table. I am afraid for my children and for myself. Summer Wells' mother wrote those words in an order of protection that she filed against the missing girl's father. The 5-year-old has been missing 7 days now and remains at the center of an Amber Alert. Here are her exact words that her mother wrote in the protective order, which was filed October of last year. Quote, "He drinks and throws things. I am afraid of being hurt. He is abusive physically and mentally towards me. I am afraid for my children and myself. My mother fears he is going to hurt her."
Court documents show Summer's mom filed the protective order after an argument that turned physical. 4 days later, though, she asked the court to dismiss the order. In April of this year, charges of domestic assault and unlawful possession of a weapon were dismissed against Don Wells. He pleaded guilty to carrying a gun while under the influence.
Canine units, dive teams, subject matter experts, and aviation crews fill 1,000 acres surrounding Summer's home on Ben Hill Road in the Beach Creek community.
There's that ribbon. Good job, Emma.
Haley Matthews and her kids have stopped by Summer's prayer vigil. Living 10 minutes down the road from Summer, Haley is watching her 5-year-old daughter Emma's every move, still unsure if Summer's father's words of a kidnapping are true.
I make her stay in. She's been right by my side like a magnet. I ain't let her out of my sight for that reason, just worried to death that's what could happen.
9 days in the Tennessee heat would certainly wear down anybody in their own right, but when you factor in the mental and emotional toll that it's taking on these rescue crews and search crews to try and locate a missing 5-year-old girl, it's made this search even tougher than it already was before.
Well, for the very first time, Hawkins County's sheriff is talking about details in the Summer Wells investigation, and her father is showing us a hidden path that he claims a kidnapper used to abduct his daughter, then disappear without a trace. Our Erica Lunsford walked the trail with Don Wells and sat face to face with Sheriff Ronnie Lawson in an exclusive interview. Now, 114 days after the little girl was reported missing. Erica, you went through a lot, both with the sheriff and Don Wells. What'd you learn?
Summer's father tells me he believes the trouble started at the basement door, a door he says her brothers often left unlocked and wide open.
And we'd get on them a lot, and so you can't do that, but it just, you know, we'd always find it open a lot of times and stuff, and so we tried to control that, but to know, you know, they couldn't control it 100% of the time.
Don Wells tells me Summer was last seen going to the basement to play with her toys. Her 3 older brothers upstairs, her mother and grandmother in the yard facing away from the basement door, and Don Wells at work.
We don't know if someone was waiting in the basement or if she come outside here and went to the swing. All we know is she went down the basement.
Wells says he believes someone was lurking at the top of a dog trail, just feet away from the basement door. He says the predator somehow managed to snatch Summer, then raced down the steep hill as she struggled.
I guess you guys want to walk down through here?
The trail was not an easy walk. To get down the rugged hill, Wells and I had to hold on to trees. I struggled not to trip or even fall on tree roots.
I need to slide a little bit.
So the dogs kind of came down this trail here?
Yeah.
It's pretty steep.
Yeah. I didn't know the dogs even had a trail down through here until the police dogs followed it all the way to the road.
Wells says he overheard authorities say search dogs followed Summer's scent down the trail to the road before losing it. He painted a vivid picture of a kidnapping, telling me a neighbor likely heard Summer scream.
I think whoever grabbed her probably had her mouth covered, and I think she was gasping for air by the time she got down through here somewhere, because our neighbor heard a scream, a really funny scream. I think they just carried her to a vehicle and threw her in there and took her somewhere far away from here.
Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson has not publicly commented on specifics of the case until now. I asked Sheriff Lawson about Wells' claims. Did dogs follow Summer's scent down the trail to the main road? The sheriff says yes.
The dogs had a pretty good trail, a track for a little while, but then it disappeared, but they lost scent when they come to the road. And sometimes canines, they will lose the scent when it changes different type, where they maybe went from the gravel to the pavement.
And did a neighbor hear a scream?
Best I recall, it's been a couple months ago, I think that was unfounded.
Wells tells me the family home on Ben Hill Road is surrounded by drug dealers and buyers.
You get all kinds, you know, with the drug trade, and we've seen quite a bit of stuff surrounding the meth thing. We've parked in our neighbors caught them parked at our road in our driveway in the middle of the night or early in the morning and stuff like that, and run them off, and they get mad and they raise Cain, and we've had quite a bit of problems.
But Sheriff Lawson tells me Wells lives on a quiet street.
I've heard rumors of, you know, there is maybe a drug dealer on that road, but it's just like anywhere. Ben Hill Road is no different than any other roads in Hawkins, Sullivan, or any other county, as far as even Knox County. We all have drug problems, but no, that's not that problem. That's not correct either.
It's not like a hot spot.
No, it's not a hot spot. I mean, it's a dead-end road, so there's very little traffic, if any.
Don Wells says he doesn't know why anyone would take his daughter, but isn't shocked by the disappearance of a child.
There's a lot of missing children.
But Sheriff Lawson says children don't just go missing, especially in Hawkins County.
No, ma'am, we don't have any other missing children.
At Summer's hilltop home, Wells showed me a refrigerator he says Summer played on.
I don't know what else she did, but what in the world is that?
And we walked to Summer's swing. This is her favorite.
That's her favorite, yes. She liked to twirl.
Don Wells is pleading for his daughter's return.
Whoever has her will have mercy, and please let her come home.
Sheriff Lawson says investigators remain committed to finding Summer.
Everyone in Summer's case is still a suspect.
Erica, you've talked to Summer's mom before. Where was she during this interview?
Candace Bly was there at the home during the interview but didn't want to talk, so she stayed inside.
And this is an important question for people who are watching and still want to help. Does the sheriff think that the public can still contribute in any way or help find Summer?
He wants people in the Beach Creek area to keep looking for signs of Summer, especially pieces of clothing that could still be found in fields. Investigators are also trying to find that red Tacoma truck seen in the area near the time of her disappearance. It has a ladder rack and white buckets in the bed. Amanda?
Yeah, still looking for that truck as well. Erica Lunsford reporting for us tonight with 2 exclusive interviews. Erica, thanks.
Well's mom actually called police to the family home last week. This after a group of YouTubers showed up on the property.
Well, now that group tells us they were there with cameras recording in what they call an effort to put pressure on Summer's parents and on police.
Sam Luther talking with them tonight about whether they're working against or for this investigation.
Where could she possibly be?
That's Marissa Ziedinski, better known on the internet as Molly Go Whiteley. The YouTuber says she runs a nonprofit called Heels on the Ground.
And what we do is we protest to get answers.
Based in Pennsylvania, but in Hawkins County last week for 3 days, trying to get answers about what happened to Summer Wells. Here they are in the Beach Creek community with cameras rolling, walking near the Wells property.
Okay, we're here.
But once these videos hit the internet, Candace Bly filed a trespassing complaint with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office.
So I don't believe that Candace Bly has the nerve to walk into Hawkins County Police to try and press charges on me. What's it going to be, a fine? I would love to see this woman face to face.
Ziedinski says Heels on the Ground travels the country trying to put pressure on families that they feel have information in missing person cases. Most recently, this group was outside of the home of Brian Laundrie, placing this dirty laundry basket at the family's front door, asking them to speak.
I laid it out for them. I said, your life will never be the same again if you don't start talking. And the next day she came out and spoke to my friends.
But no such luck yet in Hawkins County. Ziedinski says this is her full-time job, making money off YouTube and other sites. She says they don't interfere with law enforcement. However, they work alongside them. We've reached out to authorities involved in the Summer Wells case to ask if these efforts help or hurt their investigation. We're still waiting to hear back.
I'm willing to take an arrest charge. I'm not a criminal, but I'm willing to take an arrest charge to find Summer Wells.
In Knoxville, Sam Luther, WVLT News.
An ETSU student shares with our Ashley Boley what he's doing to bring Summer home. And this is quite an effort here, Ashley.
He's offering a $2,000 reward, and it's for anybody who is able to lead searchers any credible tips that help locate Summer Wells.
We are hearing, of course, from Crime Stoppers officials who say, yeah, this reward money could actually be the break that we need in this case. It's kind of sad to think about the fact that it takes money for people to come forward with information that could potentially lead to a missing child.